Alright everyone, I hope you're all ready, because it's time to power pony up with this brand new episode of Power Ponies. And before you ask, no, there's no Power Rangers reference, but there is a lot of superhero references. How do they fare up? How do they do? Is this episode alright, or is this another flop? Well, let's find out. You know the drill. Take a look at stories, the characters, animations, moral, and then my overall opinions. So, let's get ready, because we're going to be on a roll. Let's start off with the story. As parody stories goes, this is not that kind of bad of a parody story. Spike is reading one of his favorite comic books, The Power Ponies. Insert Pop-Up Girls joke here, and we're done. Meanwhile, Twilight and her friends are repairing the old castle, and Spike wants to help, but they say they got it all under control. So he reads the book, and there he finds that the other ponies and him are getting sucked into a comic, and now they must stop the villain, Maniac, as the Power Ponies in order to get back to the real world. This episode is kind of a pretty fun episode. Now, I wouldn't say this is my favorite. I will admit there are some flaws here. We'll take a look at some of them as we go. But it's kind of like a guilty pleasure to me. It was just an overall fun and enjoyable episode. I like that they're still remembering the castle and how they want to rebuild it. So now we have like two story arcs, one with the box and one with the castle. Who knows what they're going to do with it? All I know is I'm kind of a little hyped for it. It's a nice balance as well, so, that we're not just focusing on, just the box. We're also focusing on the castle, which is nice. Plus, it's a nice good breather episode. It's got some nice jokes as well as reference to comic book heroes and making fun at some of them. As the story itself, like I said, it's not bad. It's just a fun episode, and it's not, it's a guilty pleasure. Now let's talk about some of the flaws, and one of them is the characters. Now, the episode does have some good using characters in them, and they do match, what they do in the real world. Like Rainbow Dash has the power to control weather, Rarity can use her imagination, Fluttershy becomes more powerful when she's angry, Twilight using magic, and Applejack with her own ropes, and Pinkie Pie traveling in the light of speed. And the villain is a lot of fun, too. Like, I do like Maniac, like just the references of Sedusa and the Joker. But does she really have to use some Maniac puns in her sentence? They were just really too obvious and forced, and it seemed like she was trying way too hard to me to take her really seriously. It's like, come on, Spy Fox's villains were better than this. At least Spy Fox's puns weren't as painfully bad as this. I do kind of like Spike in this, and I do feel sorry for him. Like, he wants to help the other ponies, but they say that they got it under control and he feels useless. That's how I feel, too. If other people don't want my help, I feel like I'm useless, too. But I will admit, the way he mopes and everything, it seems like they drag on this for too long. I'm just like, okay, yeah, we get it. Spike is useless. Please shut up. So I kind of like the characters in here. They make the episode more fun if they release some of the puns and stuff. Now let's take a look at the animation. The animation has been a lot better since the last episode. While the castle was nice to see, I love the animation they use when they get to the comic book world, making it feel more like the comic world, but having something to make the real world feel into it. Kind of like the Gothic from Batman and, the whole Metropolis thing from Superman. And this is one of the problems I do have with, other episodes like Hamtaro. In some Hamtaro episodes, like the Dream episodes, while the worlds are fun and all, it does make it really look like it is a dream world. Now, that's not a bad thing, but it does take away the fun from the episode. Plus, I'm sort of glad this wasn't a dream episode. It probably wouldn't have been like the same thing as a Hamtaro episode. By the way, let's get this joke out of the way.
I was frozen today!
So now the moral. I really do like the moral in this because it's something I can relate to. Like I said, if my friends are doing something big and they don't want my help, I feel like I'm useless too. But like I said, just because no one wants my help doesn't mean, no one's useless or anything. So the moral gets a thumbs up for me. I do like how they play it out, but like I said, the whole Spike moping your scenes thing, does go on a bit too long and it makes it more painful to sit through. So overall in the episode, I liked it. I thought it was fun. It was a nice, breathtaking episode. It's like a comic book feel. The heroes were nice and the animation is nice. Sure, there were some painful jokes and it is a bit lame. But it's My Little Pony's own version of the comic book world. It's not technically meant to be taken seriously. So my overall score is 7 out of 10. Not one of my favorites, but it's an episode I wouldn't mind seeing again. But heck, let me hear your thoughts. What do you think of the episode? Do you think the comic book world was way more better handled than Daring Don't? Or do you think it could have handled a bit more better? Till then, this is Accord the Diesel, and I'll see you all later. Take care.